Hi guys, I'm Daddy Freeze, convener of the Free the Sheeple movement and leader of the Free Nation in Christ. I greet you and I bring glad tidings. Today I have a friend and colleague who I've worked with for quite a while, and the mom of the little angel who passed on, Baby Nolan, who we came together to raise money for, and her name is Rita Basi Umet, or is it Umet Basi?
Rita Basi Umet.
Rita Basi Umet.
This is my son Nolan. He fought a good fight. He did. They didn't survive it. Nolan, continue to rest well. Rest in the bosom of the Lord. Till we meet to part no more. You will forever be my pride.
First of all, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
You're fine.
Yes, I am.
Are you better? Because one of the most difficult things for a parent is to bury their own child. So I can't ask if you're okay because you say you're okay. Let me ask honestly, are you better?
Yes, I am.
How were you able to deal with all this? Tell us how it all started. How when you found out you were pregnant, the pregnancy was trouble-free.
Yes, it was trouble-free.
Okay.
It was a 9-month smooth pregnancy. Even if I knew I was pregnant for him when I was 4 months gone, I didn't know I was pregnant.
Till you were 4 months gone.
Yes.
Oh, so it was one of those quiet ones.
Yeah.
Before him, how many kids did you have?
I have 2 kids.
Okay, a boy and a girl.
Yes, sir.
So at any point, did you think, we already have a boy and a girl. Isn't this an extra? You thought like, well, we all think like that. With the Nigerian economy, everything is, those days our parents had children how they like, they just pop them out of the oven. But these days, when you think of school fees, when you think of having to give them the best, we all watch the size of our family. So at what stage did you realize there was something wrong?
When Nolan was 5 months old.
What were the signs?
Okay, at 5 months, he wasn't holding his neck straight.
Okay.
If you carry him, he drop his neck. Anytime you carry him, he drop his neck. Usually a child at 3 months is supposed to hold his neck straight.
Yes.
So Nolan at 5 months was not holding his neck. So I went to the hospital to complain. That was where I was told he was the Down syndrome. And the doctor had to check his heart and then said he has problem with the way he breathes. I noticed it, but I didn't see it as a problem. I just felt, different children with their own different pattern.
Yes.
So from there we were referred to Lutz. That was where we did an echo scan and we were told he has a hole in the heart.
Okay, so you found out at 5 months.
Yes, sir.
Now, how come? Because between the time you found out when he was 5 months and when you told us when he was like 10 months, you were happy and normal. And how were you able to keep the house going with? I can imagine the amount of stress you were going through at home. How were you able to? What's your secret? Let me ask you like that. What is your secret?
In life, you just have to be happy. There's so many troubles around. So if you're not happy, I can't solve the problem because I know it was Down syndrome, but I can't solve it. So I just have to be happy so I can deal with it.
Now, when you found out that he had a heart defect, you needed some money. And you never told any of us in the office. Why? You didn't tell us until, I remember the situation. There was another child with holes in his heart. And he came and we're raising money for him. And then you now say, Daddy Freeze, do I have this same problem? And I was like, wow, why didn't you tell us? So were you shy or you just felt I can handle this by myself?
No, I was shy. Yeah, I was shy at that time. I didn't know until when I saw when the woman came. So that was where the boldness came and I said, let me talk to you about it also.
Now, your husband, what did he say? Because I know some men will be like, why do you carry our matter outside? How has your husband been in all this?
He has been very supportive. At first, it wasn't easy, coming outside, because that is telling the whole world about your problem.
Problems.
Yes, it was not easy, but it's just hard to deal with it.
Okay. So let's move on to you were diagnosed with hole in the heart. You needed the money. We donated money in the office. The Free Nation also brought a large chunk of the money. You were able to get your visa to go to India. Nolan was able to get his own. You got to India. Then we didn't speak. You and I didn't speak because while you were around, you were updating me. Now the money is 1 million. Now the money is 2 million. Is 2 point something. Then I remember there was a time when we're just 80,000 naira short of the 3.5 million needed. So I remember I went to Ginger, the Free Nation again. I was like, guys, we're almost there. We can do this, And but from the time you went to India, I remember Madame telling me that you called once from India, but I wasn't around. And I tried calling that number back, but I couldn't. So tell us the story from how you got to India and how everything went from there.
Okay, when we got to India, we arrived in India we left Nigeria on the 6th of June. Okay. We arrived India on the 7th, about 9 p.m. They are 4 hours, 30 minutes ahead of Nigeria. So when we arrived, we were checked into the hospital straight. And doctor started attending to him from the next day, which we had to pay, because before they attend to you, you have to pay. You have to pay in the money. But we were not able to finish all the payments the next day, which was on the 8th. But still, doctors came, they checked him, they checked the report we had. We came from Nigeria to India. And the third day, that was on the 7th, 8th, on the 9th, we were told to go for echo scan, which we did. We did 4 echo scan in India, because what they are seeing over there was not same result as what I went to from Nigeria. They were seeing something else.
Wow.
So after which we went for blood test, blood investigation, that's what they called it. And then we went for X-ray to check the heart, and they found out that the heart was really large. He had a very large heart. That was where they saw what they were seeing in the echo scan. They saw it in their X-ray. The X-ray would tell them where the problem is and what they need to do. So before the surgery, we now found out that he had discharge in his ear, and we were referred to ENT department, and they said he had ear infection.
Okay.
So he had to be treated for ear infection for 1 week. Then after the 1 week, the date of the surgery, 26th of June, that was when the surgery was done. It was done at about 8:49 was when I handed Nolan over to them on the 26th of...
Were you apprehensive when you were handing him over to them? Did you feel that my baby Nolan, this is the last time did you have those?
Yes, yes.
You had those feelings.
Because,
did you cry?
Yes, I did. But I tried to, because even when I handed him, before I handed it over to them, the doctor told the nurses there, she said, as soon as you collect the child, don't let him turn to see his mom, so that she won't feel somehow. But still yet, that mother and that relationship, handing your child over to someone else, it wasn't easy. I tried my best. I didn't turn my back until I went out of that room. That was when I turned, and I told him, I said, before I handed him over, I said, Nolan, I'm still going to see you again. I'm not handing you over finally. I know I'm still going to see you again. And that was it.
Wow. So let's talk a bit about your 1 week in India. You were staying in the hospital throughout. How was it? Was it comfortable?
Yes, it was. They made everywhere comfortable. They made everything comfortable. Before we went to the hospital, they told us about their food. So we can bring our own food. I can bring my food if I want. But if I think I can eat their food, then not a problem. I don't need to go with food stuff. But I went with food stuff.
What were you cooking when you were there?
I cooked rice.
Did you cook eba?
Yes, but they don't have palm oil. And the place where I was directed to go get palm oil, it was very expensive. It was 500 rupees. And if I need to convert 500 rupees, it was 2,500 naira just for 75 cl. Yes,
Wow,
because
less than a liter.
yes, they don't use palm oil to cook, but they have vegetable oil, they have granite oil everywhere. So I will prepare stew and I'll use it to eat ever.
Oh, how? But did you try their food at all?
Yes, I did. I tried. I tried chapati, and there's one other one that I can't remember the name. That it's like our own jollof rice,
Yes.
but they add this sauce in it. They use them according to them is milk, but they slice fresh onions in it.
Yes.
So you use the sauce to eat the
The
rice. It was very, very, very interesting.
Very interesting. Okay, I'm trying because I don't want you to break down, so I'm trying to make it a bit fun so
Thank
we can.
you. Thank you.
Now, after the ear infection was treated and you officially handed him over to them, when was the surgery? That same day?
Yes, on the 26th of June. Actually, before the surgery,
Yeah.
we had to go back to the ENT
Okay.
for them to give us fitness of surgery. Because everything they do, you need to get fitness of surgery. If the ENT, the pediatrician did not give fitness of surgery, surgery will not be done. So yes.
Now, these doctors, it seems that you were communicating very well with them. Did you pick up a bit of Indian, or was it were they all speaking English?
English.
Very good English.
Very good English.
So you could understand everything.
Yes.
Wow. So okay, after the surgery, or during the surgery, where were you? You were not allowed to go near.
Yes, I was told to go to my room. Actually, before the surgery, I had not had good sleep because I share a bed. Although there were two beds, but just to be safe, because the surgeon told me that I have to, because he's a baby and he can roll, so I have to always manage the bed with him, just one bed with him.
So he doesn't roll off.
So he doesn't roll off. So I always watch him at night. So that day of the surgery, I try not to disturb myself, not to think about it, because I handed everything over to God for God to have his way. So I went back when he told me go back, everything will be fine. I went back to the room and I slept. I know, yeah, I slept when I even woke up, although I did sleep, because my mind was still there. So I
It
was
was
still,
a bit troubled.
yes,
Yeah.
sir. Yeah.
Yes. So when you woke up, I heard that initially everything was successful and you were happy.
Yes.
And you even sent a message home to Nigeria saying that surgery was successful. So what now happened?
He had cardiac arrest.
Wow. Were you there when he had the cardiac arrest?
No.
Or they just...
I saw him. This was the next day.
Okay. So the very next day,
Yes.
he had the cardiac arrest. Wow. So they had not even handed him over back to you. He was still
He was still in the ICU. During the surgery, they passed a tube
Yes.
to them. So I saw him, because they called me and they said he was awake, that I needed to see him. So when I saw him, before I saw him, he was already looking for me. He saw strange faces. So as soon as he saw me, tears, this cry that you can't cry out because you have this tube in your mouth. So they didn't let me stay for long. And they said I had to leave because they don't want him to start crying. And I was told that they will remove the tube in no minute time. And when they remove the tube, then I'll be able to talk to him.
Yeah.
So when the tube was removed, I was sent again. So this time, the pain was too much. Yeah, this time the pain was too much. I remember the doctor telling me to talk to him, that I should call him. So each time I call him, he turns to my direction, but with his eyes closed. Because that pain, he was using his, the way they wrap their hands. So he was using his hand to eat that place. So they kept calling him, and I was calling him, but the pain was too much. So I was told to go again, that it will be fine. So at that time, they said they can't give him another, is it insective or what they call him? So because of it, assuming he was old enough to talk, so it would tell them where the pain was, because it was a large cut. But because he could not talk, and then later I was told that he had cardiac arrest. So
When he had cardiac arrest, did they rush him back to the...
This happened in the ICU. So when he had cardiac arrest, the first time after resuscitating him back, that was when they called me again to tell me this was what happened, but it was fine, that I can go back, that if there's anything, they will call me again. So I went back to the room. It wasn't up to like an hour. I could not stay.
Yes.
I went
That's
back.
probably the longest hour of your life.
Yeah. Then I went back again. So coming down again to the ICU, I heard the alarm beeping. I saw everybody running. So the room they were running to was this room that Nolan was, and he was the only one in that room.
So automatically you knew.
I knew it was my son they were running for. So they went there. This time they took longer than necessary. I'm trying not to cry.
You can cry if you want to. I should be the one trying not to cry because
Yeah, it was over 6 hours. They tried their best. And then the surgeon came back and told me that at this point, Nolan is back to life. He was on life support, but his brain has been tampered with.
yeah.
That they were calling him, the response was very slow. That eventually, if he comes out of it, he will be taken for a CT scan to check his brain. You know, now as a believer, we always say, God forbid. Thank you, sir. We always say, God forbid. And I was told to just relax. But I didn't leave. I stayed in the surgeon's room because his room is not far from the ICU where Nolan is. In short, all the doctors, all the surgeons, their ward is on the same floor with where the ICU is and where operation goes on. So after that, he kept encouraging me. So at a point, he told me that they were taking him back into the surgical room, that they need to pass the pipe again. So I told him no problem. That he said I should go back upstairs, that everything will be fine. And I went back. He said if there's anything, they will call me. They called me back, I think, after 2 hours. And then he said that Nolan is not really responding again the way he was. That they tried removing him from the life support, but he's not responding well. So they were going to put him back and then give him 30 to 45 minutes. Then if he doesn't come back, then there's nothing they can do again. So I told him no problem. So this was about I think 8:45 in Indian time. The nurse came, yes,
4 hours.
4 hours, yes, 4 hours behind, like I'm 4 o'clock here. Then they sent for me again, and that was it.
So you had to he was taken off life support, and you had to. Did you bury him there?
Yes, I did.
Did they help you with the
Yes, they did.
burial costs and
Yeah.
all that?
Yes.
How did your husband handle this?
It was not an easy one, because I remember I tried his number and the number was not going through. I had to call my elder sister because I called his number first. It wasn't going through, so I called my elder sister because I wanted to break the news to him first before letting other people know. So I had to call my elder sister and I told her the situation. So I told her to please tell him to reach me. So he did. And then I broke the news to him. I remember that day I could not reach him again. Before that day, his brother was around. His younger brother was around, because the whole arrangement was I asked the younger brother to come and stay with us, so that by the time we return back from India with Nolan, it will be the one helping me take care of him while I come to work, so he doesn't stop the father from doing his own business.
What business does your husband do? Okay. I want to ask you a few questions before we do you think that Nigeria has failed us in the area of healthcare? Do you think that Nigeria should have been able to handle this without us having to raise money to fly you across the world to India? Because India, how long was the journey?
It was 20 hours.
Jesus, 20 hours.
Yes, we had a stopover in Dubai.
Okay,
Okay, when we were leaving, we left Nigeria at...
What airline did you use?
It was Emirates.
Oh, okay.
Emirates.
But at least Emirates is a very nice and comfortable
Yes.
airline. Thank God, because there are some airlines you don't want to be stuck with them for 20 hours.
Yeah, it was Emirates. So we had a stopover in Dubai. They lodged us in an hotel.
Oh.
Yes, in Dubai. We were lodged in an hotel.
The beautiful thing is India is escaping poverty while we are getting more into poverty. And they are working hard to develop their nation. That is why they can provide healthcare to the rest of the world. And I see this as a failure on the part of the Nigerian government with regards to healthcare. This lady had no business taking her child to India. It's not like it's the US or it's India. Can we not match at least India when it comes to healthcare? And you also said that what they diagnosed here and what they diagnosed in India were two different things. Which did you feel was the right diagnosis? Do you think the
one in India,
you felt that one was
yes,
more accurate?
Yes.
So here in Nigeria, we can't even tell what's really wrong with somebody.
Yeah, they told me it was a VSD, and VSD is one of like the simplest surgery, simplest hole in the heart. But it was tetralogy of Fallot. When
which is a complex
yes
surgery.
Yes.
So Nigeria pushed you on the plane to India, telling you, it's one small thing, they'll just sew here, sew here, sew here, the child will be okay. Only for you to get there and realize that it was a major surgery. Okay. Lovely talking to you, Rita. You are our sister in Christ. I know, yes, we're able to raise money for treatment and trip to India and all, but I know this must also have depleted the family resources. How are you coping? I hope you didn't take any loans.
No, I didn't. I'm managing.
You are managing?
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, I will still scroll her account details if there's anyone who wants to. You know what the Bible said? Our brothers in need are our brothers. If you want to help Jesus, you help someone in need. She's just lost her baby. She spent most, if not all, of her resources. So, and she still has 2 kids and her husband. You told me your husband's business is not doing too well. So even if it is something to go towards investing in her husband's business, just whatever you feel you have, I think it's what I teach. And even when I told people to send you whatever they could, I also contributed. You remember?
Yes.
I also contributed because I believe that we have to be there for one another. So please, guys, let's show Rita some love. Whatever, if it's 200 naira, 500 naira, if it's 1,000, whatever it is that you have that you can share. You've shared this money with men who have bought private jets while you are still where you are. So why don't we share this with each other? May we never bury our child or children in the name of Jesus. You don't want to know. I'm looking at her like a magician, like how were you able to do it and still come to work? And she resumed on time. Some people never recover. There's nothing worse than the loss of a child. So please, if there's anyone who wants to, and you see, I tell my people, when you give me anything, it's a gift, it's not a seed. But when you give to the people Jesus said we should help, the needy, then it carries a blessing. She's never asked me for anything before. She's sitting here before. Never asked me, Daddy, please give me 1K for transport. Never. But I know in my heart, even if she's forming that everything is okay, even if she's pretending that everything, I know it cannot be. You can't go through that and be okay. So thank you for sharing your story with us. And I wish you well. And I'm sure the Free Nation, they like to show themselves. So they will show themselves in your lives.
Thank you.
Because they know that you are representing Jesus. And anybody who has a need, whatever the need, no matter how big or small, is representing Jesus. Remember, guys, Matthew 25, if you read down from 31, when you did whatever you did to the least of my brothers and sisters, you have done it for me. God bless you guys. Thank you, Rita. for
Thank you
coming.
so much, sir. Thank you.